Are you thinking about selling your house in 2024? Well, listen, I've got 6 tips. Actually, if you stay with me till the end, I've got 7 tips that I'm gonna share with you that you haven't heard about how to stage your house in 2024. Let's jump into it. But before we get started, please consider subscribing. We're excited to share great tips and tricks like this that we share with our clients that we've been using for over 22 years, over 1,100 closed transactions, and half a billion in volume. The first one, make sure your home shows like a luxury hotel. Now, you've been in that hotel when you walk in, and man, everything is just right. The smell, everything, the lights, the curtains are pulled, and you walk in, and it's just like it's just a moment, right? It's a reveal. You want to have that reveal moment from the minute you walk through the door. And so setting your house up like a luxury hotel makes all the difference. Having linens out, staging little vignettes make all the difference. Having the towel out with the hand towel and the wash rag, and then, maybe even the ribbon around it, or even, having some of the small, shampoos and conditioners and, those type things out really make a difference. A way we do that, in the kitchen is we kind of have a setup, there with a cookbook out, and kind of like it's like someone's waiting to come right back and bake cookies in the house. So that's one of our first tips. Share it like a luxury hotel. Number two, the temperature. Now, what do you mean temperature, Alex? Well, people often forget about that they want the house to be comfortable. And so here in Middle Tennessee, we get all kinds of different seasons. Sometimes it's really hot, sometimes it's really cold, sometimes it's somewhere in between. But I can assure you that if we walk into a really hot house at a really hot time of the year, we do not stay very long. They want out of the house and back to the car, and they're like, Alex, go ahead and start the car, get it going, cool it off, because we're ready to go. We're going to be done quite quickly. But if you go the other way and make sure that the temperature is set just right, people stay longer. They don't want to go back out into the heat or back out into the cold or what have you, or weather. Some of the best days to show houses are actually some of the coldest and the wettest and the driest, the hottest. Those are times people want to be indoors and coming in and out looking at houses. The next point is making sure that you declutter. Now, that's pretty common, but actually, what we have is a rule that anything smaller than a mini football, right? Anything than about this big, you want to go ahead and take it out of there. You want to go ahead and take that out of the house for a bunch of reasons. Actually, for some of your valuables and your very significant mementos, those are the things that small that can very easily be picked up and not be yours. Not that anyone definitely targets your house, but it has happened. And so we do take time to share those kinds of moments, that pens and earrings and baseball cards and anything, just small mementos, small jewelry can very easily, watches can really end up being a point where someone just can't resist, having those moments. So we just tell clients in advance, let's just remove all of those things. There you go. So another staging tip is making sure that you're not too far style specific. Now, often we go into houses that are really decorated or have been really wonderfully decorated for many, many years, and they're very connected to you. When we're taking a house to market, we want it to be as light, as bright, and as neutral as possible. So if you're too far style specific, if you've got Star Wars curtains in one of the bedrooms, we may need to, change those out for some shears and some updated, blinds in that bedroom. And we may have to take the heavy flannel, down, because then that starts people off in another direction. If you've got heavy flannel curtains, because you wanted those for that feel, then people go, gosh, I wonder if the windows don't work properly or if this room's particularly cold. Now, this is one of my favorites that I like sharing, and it has one of the biggest impacts, and you don't often think about it. It's cleaning the windows and removing the screens. And that does two things for showings. It lets more light in. When you take the screens off, the screens put a darker tint on it. And many houses now have full screens across the top and the bottom sash. And so if you have screens, we actually recommend taking those completely off, storing them in a safe place, all together, properly cared for, and so we don't have to replace them later when we have the new buyer. And second is we want to have the windows cleaned inside and out. Now, this is really interesting because when you go through that, it has a better view going out of the house and then also coming into the house, right? It allows more light in. And so that's one of the tips that we love sharing around getting your house ready, and a tip to make sure that your house is showing its absolute best. Number 6, as we get to this, We've got one more to go, so stay with us if you've made it this long. The next tip that we want to share with you is lighting. Now, lighting is absolutely critical. Often we go into homes where people have different color light bulbs. They have soft white, they have daylight, they have fluorescence, they have all kinds of different light sources going throughout the house. And so you may want to go all the way warm, depending on the temperature of the house and the style of the house. But it's critical to align and get all of those, going in the same direction, rowing in the same direction, and all those light bulbs. But very often I go into houses, and that's one of the first things I'm looking for because it sets the light in the house quite differently. So, again, if this has been valuable, we would love for you to stay in touch with us, to connect with us. We have a newsletter that we send to clients every single month where we're sharing some of our tips and tricks and some of the favorite things that are happening, events that are happening in Nashville, and even special offers for our clients only. So if you'd like to subscribe to that, please do. We'd love to stay in touch with you there. Follow the links right here, and please do subscribe to our newsletter and to our channel because we're going to keep giving great content just like this. Okay, you've waited for this one. Thank you, first of all. And this is the one. This is the one that you've been waiting for. Number 7 in our biggest bonus go-to staging tip when you're selling your house is set the house for every single showing. You would not believe how many times we show houses in all price categories where the house is dark, there's no music on, it's not set or ready, the breakfast dishes are in the sink. So we create a huge advantage and a competitive advantage by telling our clients to make sure that every time they leave their house is set and ready for a showing. Because actually, the lead time for a showing now in this time of the year is only about 3 hours. So you may leave to go to work or to have your day or go to school and at 9 o'clock, and you may have a showing at 11:30. So you have to leave everything set and ready. And so one of the things we do is all the lights need to be on. It needs to be lit like a retail space. Imagine your house like it's Restoration Hardware or Pottery Barn, and it just needs to be all the lights. All the under cabinet lights need to be on. The closet lights need to be on. We recommend setting some kind of music. If you have some kind of system throughout your house, have some kind of music, set the ambiance of there. And then one of our final favorite tips for staging is we have some kind of service in the house. Some kind of, it's summertime and it's really hot, getting a bowl out, putting some ice in it and having 4 to 6, ice waters in it and be like, hey, please enjoy. And, I hope you enjoy seeing our house is welcoming. It feels different. It extends our showing time when we're there. Sometimes, and I've actually sold 3 different houses in my career because of cookies. Going through and having cookies for going, it doesn't have to be your secret family recipe. It can be, that'd be amazing. You could put a note card to that, like, hey, if you like the cookies, we do have a secret family recipe that we will trade to the buyer when they close. That's an interesting thing. That doesn't happen in many showings, but having cookies, specifically chocolate chip cookies, even just slice and bake. If you're not a cook, you can just get the tube or the tub and have it, drop 6 of them on there before the showing happens, have those out. The house smells good. It smells like cookies. Everyone likes cookies, and it has to fight that urge not to eat all of them, right? And go full Cookie Monster and eat them all. But I've had at least 3 houses actually sell the house because there were fresh baked cookies in the house. If you're really completely against cookies or that lifestyle, you can also do a mulling spice at certain times of seasons, and you can do that. But then that we got to be real careful, leaving, stoves on and things like that. So lots of options for there. But that's one of our final tips to share around staging. Let us know in the comments below which one you liked or one that you're using that we didn't include. We'd love to hear from you. But until we connect again, my name is Alex, and I'm your friend in real estate in Nashville. See you soon. Hey, if you found one of these tips really unique or you just don't know where to get started, we'd love to do a virtual walkthrough with you. We're happy to schedule time in person or just through, one of their devices or even through Zoom, just like this. We'd be happy to guide you on where to get started and give you some of our tips. You can follow the links below to schedule a time with us for that, but we'd love to get started and help you, give you some of our tips and tricks just like this, and even a few that might not be here today. Follow the links below, schedule time. Can't wait to see you.